This male powerlifter enters the women's event and smashed the record by 100 pounds. Let's dive into it. The Canadian Powerlifting Union only states that an athlete only needs to identify in order to compete in the women's category. Let's look at the rules. So first, the individual should be able to participate in the gender in which they identify. Secondly, hormone therapy should not be required for an individual to participate. Individuals should not be required to disclose their trans identity or history to the sport organization. And lastly, surgical intervention should not be required for an individual to participate. For example, if you're a biological male and you just say that you feel like a woman and you want to participate into the women's sport, you do not have to prove anything. You can compete against women. This is Avi Silverberg. He's been the head coach of the Canadian powerlifting team for more than 10 years. And guess who was the previous record holder? A trans woman, who is actually a biological male by the name of Anne Andrus. She won 8 of the 9 competitions she entered as a trans woman in the past 4 years. Check out what she had to say about her competition.
Why is women's bench so bad? I mean, not compared to me. We all know that I'm a tranny freak, so that doesn't count. And no, we're not talking about Mackenzie Lee. She's got little T-Rex arms and she's like 400 pounds of chest muscle, apparently. I mean, standard bench in powerlifting competition for women, I literally don't understand why it's so bad. My son, he weighs 45 pounds. His max bench is like 33. I'm legit seeing some women in competition who are doing something like 50 pounds, and I just don't understand it. I don't understand why so many women are skipping bench and focusing on everything else.
She basically doesn't understand why women have less strength than men. See the way she mocks women's sport without any regard for the previous record holders. She has no respect whatsoever for biological women. You can see the content in her demeanor. Now enters Avi Silverberg, who actually identifies as a woman for this specific event. He is allowed to participate to this event. Check out the video. He didn't only beat the record, he smashed the record by almost 100 pounds. The previous record was 275 pounds, and now the record is 370 pounds. He actually wanted to make a point that the woman's strength and the man's strength is totally different. They do not compete in the same category. To be able to increase the record by more than 35% is insane. You've never seen that anywhere in sport. The fact that a man, a biological man, can come, identifies as a woman, and destroy women's sport should alert people that this is not fair. This is not fair for women. And the interesting thing is that the former record holder had a very good view on this event. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's continue.
A super quick update. Yes, somebody did show up at the meet today with malicious intent. And you know what? It was nothing. It was just entirely ignored. People lifted. I volunteered. Everyone was happy that I was there. And it really struck me that maybe my participation isn't necessarily fair. I mean, there's science, whatever. But people welcome me because I'm actually nice to people.
She's got little T-Rex arms. And
I show up and I try to make everyone happy. And I think that matters a hell of a lot more than people give it credit for.
Is she not the same person that was mocking the biological women, stating that they had T-Rex arms and they couldn't push more, and she's saying that she's treating people nicely? That's insane. She's a narcissistic, and you can see it in her demeanor. This is a biological man, and you can tell from the behavior. I'm very glad that he finally acknowledged that this is unfair. Of course, it's unfair for biological men to compete against women, and everyone knows about it, except the people that are indoctrinated in this ideology. Even the people that compete know that this is not fair. It took a man that is much stronger to show how ridiculous this ideology is. Allowing biological men to compete against women is killing women's sport. There's a reason why we have men category and the women category. On average, men have more than 50% more upper body strength than women and 30% more lower body strength than women. The average body fat of a male athlete is between 8 and 18%. The average body fat of a female athlete is between 16 and 25%. And the reaction time of males are between 0.2 and 0.25, when the woman reaction time is between 0.25 and 0.3. And there's a huge difference, and you can see actually in this interesting article here, the US soccer team, the World Cup winners, have been destroyed by a group of teenager boys under 15-year-old. Similarly, Serena Williams and her sister have been destroyed by this tennisman that is not even in the top 200. And lastly, and this is the sad news, this article about a trans woman, a biological man, destroying her MMA combatant and crashing her skull. This is what happens when this ideology is implemented to real life. This has consequences on the lives of women, and they are being destroyed by this male in sport. In the Masculine Academy channel, we provide you all the tools to become your best version as a man and to succeed in relationship. We also talk about the news. If you're interested to join a community of like-minded individuals that are striving to success, join our local group, our brotherhood, where you have exclusive content. Click on the link in the description. I understand it's extremely hard for people suffering of gender dysphoria. And it makes me sad, and I think it's a very sad situation. But we shouldn't make a sad situation unfair to most women. The solution is not to ignore reality. It's not to ignore biology, but to acknowledge it. And even Anne, the former record holder, confessed that this is not fair. This is unfair to most women. This is why the reality is important. This is why biology is important. And when we care about people, when we love people, we shouldn't entertain delusion. Because at the end of the day, the reality is the reality. And whether you put makeup on, you put a dress on, a man will never become a woman, and a woman will never become a man. And it's very sad to see people entertaining these ideas, because this is hurting the people that are going through such trauma. Like people suffering of body integrity dysphoria, the solution is not to reject their body, but to accept it and to be able to live with it.
It certainly is. This is not Leah Thomas's fault. It's really the woke world that's out there right now. Gave Leah Thomas the ability to honestly take away medals from other athletes. She played by the rules, but my beef has been with the NCAA. They've got to harden these rules because the NCAA should be out to protect women's sports. Transitioning, I really feel like it comes with responsibility and integrity. And I think in the Good Morning America show that she did, I think there was a lack of that. It was all about her and her happiness.
Can you see the difference of size between Leah Thomas and the other athletes? They stand no chance. Look at the width of his shoulder compared to the woman. And of course, this is totally unfair. And everyone that knows about biology can tell that this is unfair. As Caitlyn Jenner just said, yes, you would expect that the person transitioning will have integrity. But these days, people don't care. They do not have the same type of values. And it is up to the society to enforce these rules, because you will have people like Leah Thomas. They do not care about other women. They don't care whether it's fair or unfair. Or even like Anne, that didn't care that it was unfair until her record was broken. These people don't care about fairness. They are narcissistic people. They only care about themselves.
What's your response to that argument?
But biologically, they're still the sex that they're competing against. At the end of the day, reducing a testosterone level is not going to cut it, because women are so much more than a testosterone level. Physiologically, periods, whole other discussion.
Well, that is certainly not to be.
We're so much more than a testosterone level. So just reducing a testosterone level, at the end of the day, I mean, it's not going to change the physiological differences, because a lot of these people too are, they're training as a male athlete for a long period of time before transitioning, so they're having
and it's
that
things
higher
like
testosterone
lung
level.
capacity as well. All these things which you get after having gone through puberty, they're real things which give most trans athletes an immediate biological advantage. That's my problem.
Women are much more than just testosterone level. When you start studying the differences between men and women, the bone density, the lung capacity, and so on and so forth, there's nothing you can do as a man to make it fair to the other women competing. The first person that actually highlighted this insane ideology of gender identity was Zuby, the rapper.
Winning tonight on a happier note, congratulations are in order. The rapper Zuby just set a major women's sports record, and he did it without even training and without even being a woman. A couple weeks ago, Zuby tweeted this, quote, "I keep hearing about how biological men don't have any physical strength advantage over women in 2019, so watch me destroy the British women's deadlift record without even trying." And then you know what he did? He did just that.
And that was 4 years ago. Thank you, Zuby, for this amazing world record. In your opinion, in which category trans women should compete? In which category trans men should compete? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you're interested to watch more about this trans ideology, check out the Piers Morgan debating this insane trans activist. That's a great episode. Do not miss it.